Hey, Sean McGough here. I finally figured out how to mount a damn phone mount on my car. Anyway, if you're following along, I told you I talk to God, God talks to me. You can think I'm having a mental breakdown. That's all right. I've already had them. But I'm willing to talk about them, and that's part of what I'm here for. I call myself a guardian angel. That's what God showed me. Showed me some things I never want to repeat or see ever again. I'm happy with a low-level job. Anyway, that being said, you call me crazy. Go back and watch my other videos. I don't got time to keep going back. So I'm on the drive, and I realize I like driving because it free-flows my brain. All four voices in my head come together, and they all focus, and they all pay attention to what's going on around them. But that being said, I watch everything going around me, but I don't always pay attention to exits, or when this person's in the wrong lane trying to get on the highway so they almost smash into the side of my car. I see all that going on around me, but I don't pay attention to exits because all the voices in my head are talking. Much like they are right now. And the one in the very back of my head, which is telling me to make this video, swears like a mother. That's the voice of God that I hear. That voice of God tells me what I should and shouldn't do. My whole life, I've seen my life, and that's part of my other videos. Go watch it. I've never listened to that voice. I've always been afraid of it because it swears, it sounds like Samuel L. Jackson. I never listened. But I didn't listen not because I didn't hear it, it's because I didn't want to. It was much easier doing all the other things that the other voices tell me. And there's been a lot of screw-ups because I listen to those voices. So now I decided in my life, I'm going to listen to the one voice that matters. Well, I made a video earlier. I talked about my wife going to the hospital and how I stayed out all night, and it upset me that she chose her friend to go and not me. And I haven't exactly done great things in the last year or so. Well, the last 30 years, but the last year or so. If you watch my videos, you'll understand. This guy's got some cool music on, but I can't hear what I'm saying. All the voices are saying, shut that off. You don't even speak that language. Anyway, I still like the music. God likes that music too. Hey, I'm a work in progress. I'll tell you what I hear, what I know, and what I saw. You can say I'm crazy. That's okay too. I hope I bring you a little more spiritual. My job in life is to make people laugh, make you think about God, make you understand there's a higher power. If I've done that, then I've done my job. If that makes me happy, who the hell are you to say I'm wrong? Oh, there goes the voice. Anyway, I'm able to kind of cut that back. That being said, I don't have quite a flow of ideas because I'm not swearing. That voice is hammering right now, but it's allowed me to control it. And that's part of compartmentalizing in all the different books and things I say I've read them. I haven't read them. I've listened to them. So if I can find it on YouTube between Jung and all the other, they call him Jung, I don't know how you say his name. And Freud was a freak, by the way. Freud had some good ideas, but Jesus, this guy was a perv. Who the hell, he's gross. Anyway, that being said, Freud, he's a Freudian slip, all right. Anyway, that being said, I decided I needed to tell my wife what I said in the last video. That the part of my head that I'm supposed to listen to told me to stay out all night and to sleep on it, not to go home. She just thinks I had too much to drink. Of course she does, because that's me. That's the old me, not the new me, but the old me. Now I had 4 or 5 beers over a few hours. I didn't drive, but for me that's an afternoon cutting the lawn. Anyway, that being said, I get that from my uncle. I talk a lot about him. Go watch the other videos, you'll know. He brings me to tears, but not in a bad way, in a good way. I remember all the good things that he used to do, and the bad things, and now that I'm his age, when he croaked, I shouldn't say croak, that upsets people. You live and you die. This is like COVID. I told you a long time ago. All the reports are coming out now. If you listened to my God video a long time ago, I told you, nobody listened. Anyway, who you gonna believe? Some fat white guy? I know, it's awful. I'm one of those evil ones, right? Because I love America. I love the country. I think we all should be equal. And I don't believe in equity and equality. This crap they're pushing, that's not America. And it was going towards socialism and then to communism. Yeah, I love politics. I talk politics. I study politics. I watch history. And, geez, I look back at all the things they did to Reagan. All the Democrats talk about Reagan. They loved Reagan. They hated him. Boy, they were the most evil, corrupt. You've always been that way, Democrats. And that's right. I'm not. This don't lean to Democrats. I don't find too many moderates. If you're a moderate, you're a Republican and don't even know it because you're not standing for what this crap is. I find Democrats, but they don't want to watch independent news sources, so they don't believe all the crap that's going on. They don't even know that the shots are causing, what are they up to, 19,000 heart inflammatory problems? So, I'm not an anti-vax. I think I've already had this COVID, and I'm anti this vax because you know what? It's still a test in progress. You don't know anything. I was part of that military. Asked the guys that took those little pills during Desert Storm, Desert Shield. The DAV did a study, or the magazine come out. We saw the study. Government's not against using you for experiments, folks. If you don't think that's true, ask the goddamn Tuskegee Airmen. See how that worked out. Anyway, that being said, so I'm driving along, and I don't know where I want to go, but I'm feeling some energy, and oh, that's where I was. I went in, I decided, you know what? In front of the kids, I'm going to tell my wife what happened on my drive. I felt energy. I didn't mention it. I talked to this guy in a Jaguar. Just while I'm driving down the road, I asked him if he, does he talk to other people? Does he race like the Chargers and all the other little new race cars? And he's like, nah, he'd blow them off the road, but he doesn't even bother. And I said, yeah, because you got a Jag. You're too cool for that. And he laughed, and I was like, wow, what year is that? It's really nice. He goes, oh, that's 2010. I thought it was brand new. I don't pay that much attention. I said, wow, you keep that thing nice. He goes, no, really, I bought it that way. I put he goes, I beat the hell out of it. I put 17,000 miles on it. I go, well, 17,000 miles in a year, that's about what I do. He goes, no, I've had it for 3 years, so I guess I drive a lot. Maybe I've been talking to God a lot more than I know. But I don't even remember half the time where I go and who I talk to or what the conversation is. And I'm glad I got video now, so at least if I entertain you, you'll see it and you'll go, oh, that crazy bastard really did talk to these people. I talk to people on the highway. I talk to police, and I'm working on swearing. I'm trying not to, and follow along with me. If it comes out, it's going to come out. I can't always control it. Sometimes an F-bomb slips. I've always respected people that can place a perfectly timed F-bomb. Lets me know you're human. Anyway, that being said, you're going to get a look into my psychosis, my belief in God, how I'm trying to share that belief in God, and how just traveling around, I'm not a prophet, I'm not an apostle. I'm just a man on a single mission to bring God to people in the most peaceful manner possible and to make you understand there's a higher power. And as I said to my wife, if I make a few people laugh and I make them happy and their day's a little better, and I even ask people straight up, are you happy you met me? And they go, yeah, you know what, I really am. I said, is your day a little brighter? They say, yeah, my day's a little brighter. You know what? You kind of made me happy. You made my day. You should go on stage. That's what everybody always says. You should go on stage. I go, that's a long story. It is. Go watch my videos. But anyway, I was driving along and, thinking about all of this. And I told my kids that I talked to God, and God told me what to do and not to come home. And my oldest daughter said, yeah, that's because you're psychotic. You ought to be on meds. I said, what are you talking about? I'm on meds. You see me take them every day. Now, there's a long story about my mother, and it's in another video. But I said, and you're going to get there someday, too, there. Because insanity's hereditary, in case you didn't know that. And you're right on the bubble. You take just after me, so you better watch out. Grace takes after your mother. All right? And my daughter says, hey, you're a jerk. Yeah, she's a teenager. And I'm not always there. I'm a guy's guy. I'm talking about my kids. I tried to get them to go into fishing. Once they got old enough, they didn't want to put no worm on a hook. Then I tried to get them to play golf. They don't want to play golf. I take them to soccer, and they like soccer. They played it well. But I'm one of those dads. I cheer on my kids. Sorry. I'm not. Come on. And my big mouth. And lots of the parents used to laugh. And I coach her because they were coaches. If I had a good coach, I'd try to keep my mouth shut. If they had a coach that wasn't coaching, then I would yell things. I'm sorry. I don't know everything about soccer, but you can coach it the same way you do hockey. And I know how I know my kid and where they should be, so I would try to tell them. And I know that's overbearing, and that's like a helicopter dad. Yeah, I'm a pain in the ass. I'm trying to change that, but it's too late for my kids. They already got a hold of me. But, maybe when I have grandkids, I won't be that dad all over again. I won't be that granddad. But you know what? I probably will be, because I'm going to love them. Sometimes when you love people, you do things that aren't quite normal. But that being neither here nor there, my daughter thought I was going to be embarrassed because she made fun of me having to take medicines or having what they call gone crazy. I said, I didn't go crazy. I talked to God. Whether you believe that or not, that's up to you. Crazy would be to believe that there's nothing else besides us on this planet. And I believe there's aliens. I don't believe a lot of the crap, but I believe there's aliens and life on other planets. Why? Because I believe in the spectrum that you're telling me, the Big Bang Theory, we're the only experiment God had. Nah, I think they're probably way more advanced than us, and they've seen how messed up we are. And they don't want to get involved. They just kind of watch us the way we try to look at animals, the same thing. We're in that experiment, and they're watching us, and everybody's watching us, and they're seeing us tear this country apart. And maybe that's why, according to some of you, my brain went the other way, because I'm watching how the country's getting torn apart, and I just couldn't take it anymore, and I snapped. Well, that's all right if you want to believe that too. I'm not impartial to believe in that myself, but I know what I've been feeling in the people and the energies around me. And that's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm feeling an energy. I feel that I don't know what it is, but I'm going with it, and it's making me happy. And I talk to people, and it makes me happy. And I realize now, maybe I touch their soul. Maybe by just me bringing them up that one little bit, maybe that was enough that they didn't do something. And I feel like crying like a little, I won't say the word. I said it to a girl at work, and she got all upset. She's like, that's for my babe. That's the only one. I ain't sleeping with you. You ain't putting that thing in me. I said, of course I'm not putting that thing in you. You're a dyke. Oh, sorry. I guess I shouldn't say that word, but I said it. She laughed. And we're friends. She's my buddy. I don't know her name. I finally remember. I had to ask her. But I've been talking to her for probably a year now anyway. But I'm doing better at remembering names and who people are. I've talked to people for 20 and 30 years, and I don't even remember their name. I ran into a guy last night. That's where this was all going. I haven't seen him in many years, but I wanted to tell my wife the story about him because it was hilarious. And these are my friends, so you think I'm crazy. Deal with my friends. He was a good kid. We've been friends since high school. We don't hang out and go out for beers and stuff. We see each other at the bar. We say hi, or if there's a cookout, hey, come on over for a burger, that type of thing. Those are my friends. Nobody has the patience to put up with me on a long-term basis except for a couple. They were really looking out for me. But anyway, that being said, he's been with the same woman for 30 years. They dated for 27, and they're now engaged for the last 3. I said, what the hell's taking you so long? Are you kidding me? And he's like, I was afraid. Now, this is the same thing about my computer. If you watch some videos back, you'll understand I didn't go on my computer because I'm afraid to erase everything, even though I have nothing on it. Because of Kit Boga, I watch these videos of the scammers scamming the scammers, and I get all like, oh my God, what if they're working on my computer? And then my phone acts up, my electronics act up. And I'm telling you, when I feel energy, I'm surprised this video is still going. I feel energy and things just stop working. It's weird. But you think I'm crazy and maybe I have a bad connection. I think so too. There might be a bad connection up here too. But I'm learning to deal with it all. And every voice in my head, I got 4 of them. I just explained it to my wife. I got 4 voices and they fly around. One tells me bad things and just go with the flow. And that's the one I always got in trouble with. Just go with whatever's easy. The other one says, are you sure you want to do that? The third one says, I don't think that's a good idea. The fourth one says, you better not do it. And that's the one I never listened to until now. That's the one that's making me find my way back towards Christ and being more righteous. I'm able to throw that in there. See how that works? Anyway, that being said, I explained all this to my kids, and I said, I think you guys really need to find yourself some religion. And I know my kids believe there's a higher power in God. We weren't Catholic. I was raised Catholic, and I didn't agree with everything the Catholic Church teaches. And I still don't. I told you, God told me, the only thing man hasn't come in contact with and fudged up is the 10 Commandments and the Constitution of the United States, written by the hand of God. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's why it's so perfect. That's why Every time the Democrats try to do something, the Constitution gets in the way. But they're trying to change that Constitution. We all need to fight for that Constitution. We shouldn't let it be changed. Not the courts, not anything. Leave it alone. The Second Amendment, the First Amendment. It protects my right now to talk to you about God. I don't have guns because I wouldn't have shot anybody. I know that. But I probably would have threatened you and said, you mother, and then I would have been in trouble. And sometimes you do things, the voice in the back of my head said, yeah, you don't need a gun. You're big enough. All right? So sometimes I do listen, just not all the time. The voice in the back of my head said, my wife said, let's get married. I said, okay. There wasn't a hesitation. You know why? Because the voice in the back of my head that I never listened to swore so friggin' hard that day, I had no choice but to say yes. That's right. My wife asked me because I would have never popped that question. This is a long story. I've already gone over my 10 minutes, but I'll bring you stuff every day or when I feel like it. I'm still on the way to the cemetery to say thank you to my uncle. He died when I was 53, and I can't imagine when he was a young man, he had his own house on the beach. He had to take in his crazy sister and her 5 kids. There were 5 of us. One of us was retarded. You figure out which one. It's on the videos back. And it might not be the one you suspect that I talked about. But either way, that being said, I'm not ever PC. So if you're looking for somebody that's PC, I'm not your guy. If you want the truth in a story, I can bring it to you one day at a time, 10 minutes at a time, when it pops into my head. If you don't care, I don't care. I have one subscriber who cares, and I believe that's God. All right? I talked about it and how I got, I'm not going to say reborn, how I got my pardon. That's in another video too. Go look them up. Anyway, God bless, God love. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and all that happy stuff. Follow along with me. You don't know how hard this was for me to do because I got 4 voices in my head right now high-fiving. They're saying, this is a good video, man. You did it. This is good. You didn't even swear. I think I said 1 swear. If you don't understand the life changes that I've made just in the past month and how I've found myself and my brain. Even my daughter, I cautioned her about taking medication. And even though I feel better than I have in years, that I still need that medication. I have no idea where I'm at right now. This is what happens when I talk to God. I know I'm in Boston, but what street am I on? D Street. These are things that happen. I'm driving along. I got to get in the left lane. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention to everything, but I pay attention to nothing. I talk to God. God talks to me. I'm feeling him now. And if I feel him and I come through your neighborhood and I'm doing a little bit of hang loose, that's a long story. I'm blessing your neighborhood. You ought to feel lucky about it. That's a funny story. I'll tell you that another time. Anyway, follow along. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Oh, about my mother. She was crazy. She had medication. I don't know how crazy she was now. It's a long story, too. That's in a different video. I'm starting to think maybe she was onto something. She just didn't know how to put it into perspective. I'm learning how to put my insanity into perspective. Yeah, I've fought it my whole life. People think I swear at them. Nah, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely me. But you know what? It's what I really want to say to you, but I just can't put it into words properly, so it just comes out as angry as I can be, or as happy as I can be, too. My swears are, you know, when I'm happy, I swear. When I'm upset, I swear. And but it's my thoughts and and that's the way it is, but that's the way I'm changing. So you'll still get my thoughts. You won't know if they're God or not because I'm controlling how he talks to me now. And the only reason I'm able to control it is because he's letting me. I'm in God's hands, and I'm loving the journey. I hope you'll love the journey and you'll come along with me. That's all I'm saying. Hit that like, share, subscribe. I've only talked to 5 people today, and I didn't even make videos about, well, I guess I just told you about a couple of them, didn't I? I forgot the donkeys and a few other people. But anyway, that's a long story for another day. Pay attention. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I might be crazy, but it's a good kind of crazy, and I'm going to ride with it. Maybe you'll find you're crazy, too.